YouTube, what is going on? As you can see, we got the fancy playmat out, and there's a special reason why, because bam 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 ba da da. This is the final of the commander decks for Lord of the Rings, and I know this has been out for a while, so everybody's already done unboxings to this and talks to this. However, though, like I said, this is my final one. We have all of them now. We have collected all of them. We have all of the rings, all of them now. But I'm very excited for this. So, friends until the end, from your fellowship and battle for the fate of that. Multiplayer. Frodo and Sam have the ability to partner with one another. Hee allowing them to travel side by side, cook up whole feasts of food tokens to gain life, and fuel Frodo's journey on his way to Mordor. So yeah, so it's actually interesting because this one is a dual commander. This is a partner commander. So we're gonna have both Frodo and we're gonna have Sam. So very interesting about this one. It is green, black, white for a color combo. This is like I said, this is the final one because this is the one that I wasn't the most excited about getting, to be genuinely honest with you. And I'm already having problems opening this. Of course I am, right? Why wouldn't I? This is the one that I didn't really want out of all of them. To be honest with you, it just didn't seem that fun to me. To be fair, but now that I've bought three, now that I have the others, I was like, you know what, should probably get this one. Went down to go get some pre-order that I had, and when I showed up there, boom, this was there as well. And I was like, you know what? At this point, this is just kind of fate now, so I might as well just get it. So let's get into this and see what we got here with this. I've butchered this box. I've tried not to, but it is just not wanting to play nice. Wow, it really is not wanting to play nice, like, at all. Like, look at this. Ugh. You see that? Look at that. It is not wanting to play nice. Okay, so let's put this together real quick, like we always do. All right, there. So there's our little box with Frodo and Sam on it. All right, so then we got our big Frodo right there. We got all of our tokens. So we got one tokens. We got a reach token, it looks like. We have our spin down. Our little packet there, the pamphlet packet, which we'll go over in a little bit. I'll put that up there. We have our collector booster sample pack. Very excited to see what we get in there. And then, of course, we have the main deck. And we got some extra little tokens right there. So, very intrigued to see what we get here. I wonder if we're going to get two heavy-duty commanders. But let's take a look at this real quick. This is always nice to look at, see what we got here. Playing the deck. Breakfast is served. The hobbits of the Shire love the few things more than food and friendship. This partner mechanic allows you to play with two commanders at once, meaning you can start the game with both Frodo and Sam in the command zone, having Sam cook up a tasty food token to give Frodo the strength he needs to bring the ring to Mount Doom. Each nourishing food token can be sacrificed to gain life. Wait until you have a card with an ability to trigger the triggers when you gain life to create a powerful full combo. So there we go. And then we get this little backstory right here. Frodo, an adventurous hobbit. As a hobbit of the Shire, Frodo Baggins grew up hearing tales of adventure from his uncle Bilbo. Then it fell to Frodo to embark on an unexpected journey of his own, volunteering along the way to destroy Bilbo's magic ring, in actuality the terrifying and powerful One Ring, in the fires of Mount Doom. Backed up by fellowship and companions, and Sam, his most loyal friend and gardener, Frodo dares to defy the odds in order to see his mission through to the very end. So there's a nice little picture of Frodo, and then we got Sam down here. Samwise Gamgee. Sam, loyal attendant. Frodo's faithful companion through thick and thin is none other than Samwise Gamgee, a hobbit, a gardener, and a great cook. When Frodo volunteered to deliver the ring to Mordor, Sam was the first to stand beside him as the Fellowship of the Ring splintered and the journey across Middle-earth grew dire. The task of protecting Frodo, and by proxy the One Ring, and the entire world, fell to Samwise the Stout-Hearted. Alright. Very interesting. So why are they aligned with white, black, and white? Frodo's dedication to one another and selflessness in the face of danger are very white aligned. Frodo's connection to Sauron and the Nazgul through the ring and his powerful temptation dips into black. Finally, Sam's love of home, hearth, and good food aligns him with green. This is an interesting combo. It'll be. I'm intrigued to see how this plays. I might be playing this weekend with a friend of mine, so that will be interesting to see. It all depends. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to like this deck, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Before we do, we have the Collector Booster Sample Pack. I'm hoping for good things. We've gotten decently good things out of these, I do believe, from the past ones that we have opened. Unless this one gives me problems. It's giving me problems. Oh boy, it's giving me problems. Man, I am just struggling today with this. I am... Okay, hold up a second. Let's see if that helps any. No, my luck, that didn't help at all. But it did. Beautiful. Alright. Now that that is over with, like I said, big struggles today. Big struggles today. Okay, so there's a secret lair. Alright, so what are we going to get here? What are we going to get? Ooh, the Vial of Galadriel. Okay. 3 for a legendary artifact. Let me see if I can actually... Does this help any? That's a little bit better. Vial of Galadriel. It says 3 colorless, a legendary artifact. If you draw a card while you have no cards in your hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you gain life while you have 5 or less life, gain twice that much life instead. Add 1 mana of any color. And a foil Legolas counter of kills. That is... The second one is highly unfortunate. That is the card that we got. Alright, so here we go. Very intrigued to see what we get, what this is. I'm going to have problems opening this, watch. And for everyone that wants to know, yes, I am having problems opening this. I'm just having problems. For being a food and fellowship deck, this has been nothing but problems. I'm just going to say it, nothing but problems. Right now, I ripped the box, I ripped everything else. Alright, let me break this up into a couple different piles. Let's go like 3 piles. Boom, boom, and boom. There. Okay, so we got the Brushland, we got the Soul Ring, and we got the Frodo. Alright, so let's get into this. Let's get into this, shall we? Alright. Frodo, the Adventurous Hobbit. So, Azorius, Halfling Scout, and you can partner with Sam. 1/3 Vigilance. When Frodo attacks, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, the ring tempts you. Then, if Frodo is your ring bearer and the ring has tempted you 2 or more times this game, draw a card. So that is the thick boy right there. That is the thick boy. So we do not get Sam as a thick boy, but Sam is oh man, I've already forgotten it. Whatever. Green, white, 1, 2, 4. Partner with Frodo. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a food token. Activate abilities of foods you control cost 1 less to activate. So normally it costs 2, now it only costs 1. Field-tested frying pan. 2 colors and a white is an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 halfling creature token, then attach this to it. Whenever you gain life this turn, this creature gains +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gained. Okay, okay. I dig it. The Gaffa. The Gaffa. Hold up a second. Wait a minute. I gotta look at something. That's weird. Okay. What is happening? I apologize. This is probably the worst of all of the openings that I've done. The Gaffa. Look at the boy. Look at the boy. Look at the old boy. Alright, 2 colors and a white. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, draw a card. So big on the life gain. Gwahir, greatest of the eagles. 5/5, 4 colorless, 1 white. Flying, whenever it attacks, target attacking creature also gains flying until end turn. At the beginning of your each end step, if you gain 3 or more life, create a 3/3 white bird. You're starting to see a theme here, because I am. Of herbs and stewed rabbit. Put a 1/1 counter on each, on up to 1 creature. Create a food. Draw a card. Create a food. Create a 1/1 halfling for each food you control. Okay, so board. So now we're getting people on the board. Gollum. 1 white, 1 black with Skulk. This creature cannot be blocked by creatures with power greater, so it can't be. So it can only be like blocked by ones. All right, cool. At the beginning of the step, each opponent dealt combat damage this game by a creature named Golem. Obsessed Stalker loses life equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Okay, interesting. Lobelia, the Defender of Bag End. She's a halfling citizen, 2/2. 2 colors, 1 black. When enters the battlefield, look at the top card of each opponent's library and exile those cards face down. Sacrifice an artifact. Choose one. So end of turn, you may play a card exiled by Lobelia without paying its mana cost, or each opponent loses 2 life and I gain 2 life. Ooh, okay. Rapacious Guest, 2 colors and a black, 2/2. Menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice food, put a 1/1 counter on the guest, and whenever they leave, target opponent loses life equal to its power. Ooh, okay. Assemble the Entmoot. Entmoot. Creatures you control have reach. That explains the reach tokens. 3 colors and a green. Sacrifice this. Create 3 tapped XX green tree folk creature tokens, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Put a reach counter on each of them. That's kind of cool. I like that. It is interesting seeing that, like, each one of these kind of has, like, their own separate, like, side thing. Like, this one has Ents in it as well. I was expecting, like, I remember when I looked up the deck list for this, I was not expecting any Ents. And then I see there's just a ton of Ents in it. So, when I say ton, but there's a couple. Feasting Hobbit. 1 colorless and a green for a 2/2. Devour Food 3. As this enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of foods. This creature enters the battlefield with 3 times that many 1/1 counters on it. So if you devour 3 foods, it comes on with 3 foods. Done. Creatures with power less than Feasting Hobbit's power can't block it. Motivated Pony, 4 colors and a green for a 3/3 trample haste. Whenever it attacks, attacking creature is get +1/+1 until end of turn. If a food enters the battlefield under your controller's turn, they gain an additional. Oh, untap them and they gain an additional +2/+2. Ooh, okay. Prized Pig. 1 colorless and 1 green for 0/3. Whenever you gain life, put that many ribbon counters on Prized Pig. Then if there are 3 or more ribbon counters on Prized Pig, remove those counters and untap it. Add 1 mana of any color. Oh, okay. Alright, so a little mana ramp there. Banquet Guests. Affinity for food. Colorless X. Green, white for 0/0 trample. When it enters the battlefield with twice X +1/+1 counters on it. Sacrifice a food and it gains indestructible. Wow. Bilbo, the birthday celebrant. Look at the old boy. Look at him. If you would gain 1 life, you gain that much life at +1. Exile Bilbo. Search the library for any number of creature cards, then put them onto the battlefield. Activate only if you have 111 or more life. 11T11. Farmer Cotton. X and a green-white for a 1/1. When he enters the battlefield, create X white halfling creature tokens and X food tokens. I forgot what that is with 111 life. I know that's a thing. I know that's like they have a special word for it, and I can't think of what it is. 111th birthday, 11T1. I forgot what it is. Let me know in the comments. I forgot what it is. Merry, the Warden of Isengard. So now this is interesting because Merry has partner too. So technically, you could run Merry and Pippin, which I'm assuming. There's Pip. You could do Merry and Pippin as your commanders instead of Frodo and Sam. 1 green, white. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. And he's a 1/4. And then Pippin is a green, black, 2/2 with partner. Tap 1 and tap him to create food. Sacrifice, tap him and sacrifice 4 foods. Other creatures you control gain +3/+3 and gain haste until end of turn. So a little bit of a different strategy if you were going to do that, I feel like. Treebeard, the Gracious Host. 2 colors and a green, white. Trample and Ward 2, 05. When he enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens. Whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on target halfling or tree folk. The Hithlian Rope. 2 colorless. It can't be sacrificed. Tap it to search the library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. The player to your right gains control of the Hithlian Rope. Tap 2 and tap it, draw a card. The player of your right gains control of Hithlian Rope after drawing a card. So no matter what your space, you just keep putting around the table. It just keeps going around the table and it just keeps getting uses. Okay. Call for Unity. 3 colorless, 2 white. Enchantment at the beginning of your end step as Revolt. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield, put a Unity counter on call for Unity. Creatures you control get +1/+1 for each Unity counter on call of Unity. Okay, that's interesting. Dawn of Hope. 1 colorless, 1 white. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. 3 colorless and a white. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with a lifelink. Dusk and Dawn. So Dusk is 2 colorless and 2 blue. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. And then if you flip it this way, we get Dawn, which is Aftermath. Oh, you can actually cast this only from your graveyard. Okay, so you play Dusk, and then you can play Dawn afterwards. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand, which a lot of these cards have I say a lot, most of them have been under that. Fell the Mighty. 4 colorless and a white. Destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power. Fumigate. 3 colorless and 2 white. Destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. There was a lot of board wipes just then. Mentor of the Meek. 2 colorless and a white. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. 2/2. Sanguine Bond. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. 3 colorless and 2 black. That's crazy, the Sanguine Bond's in this. Toxic Deluge. 2 colorless and a black. As an additional cost to play a spell, pay X life. All creatures get -X until end of turn. Birds of Paradise. Kind of a cool card because it's in the Lord of the Rings style. Everyone knows Birds of Paradise. We're not going to say Birds of Paradise. Gilded Goose. 1 green for an 0/2. And his battlefield, create a food token. Tap 1 and a green. Create a food token. Sacrifice food token, add 1 of any color. Woodfall Primus. 5 colorless and 3 green. Trample for a 6/6. When he enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent. And then it has Persist, so when it dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, you return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a -1/-1 counter on it. Big Treefolk Boy. Anguished Unmarking. 1 colorless, white, black. Exile target non-land permanent, you gain 3 life. Chromatic Lantern. Trading Post. 4 colorless, tap 1, tap this, discard a card to gain 4 life. Or tap it, pay 1 life, create a 0/1 white goat, or sacrifice a creature, return target artifacts from your graveyard to your hand, or sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. Well of Lost Dreams. 4. This seems, I don't think I've seen this one before. 4 colorless. For an artifact, whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained. If you do, draw X cards. Ooh, okay. Okay. Wow, I did not know that was a card in this. I actually really like that card. The Well of Lost Dreams. That is actually a really nice card. Especially for, like, how much life gain we have in this right now. Like, yeah. Okay, baby. Okay. So then we got Brushland, Canopy Vista, Exotic Orchard, Fortified Village, Isolated Chapel. Oh, that's different looking compared to the others. Murmuring Borsk. When it has battlefield, you may reveal a Treefolk from your hand. If you don't, Murmuring that in his battlefield tapped. Oh, so you can add... Wow. Oh, okay, hold up a second. I might need to look at some of these. Okay, that's... Yep, so... green, white, anything. Green, white, black. But now this is the interesting one. So this is a forest. So add is a forest. Add that, but then down here, you can add a white or black and it deals 1 damage to you. Okay. Dude, there's some... I didn't remember there being this all this fun in here. Eagles of the North. Flying. When Eagles of the North enter his battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gains first strike. 3/3, 5/0. Landval. Horizon Witness. 4 colorless, white, 3/4 flying. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, target attacking creature gains without flying gains flying. Rosy Cotton of South Lane. 2 colorless and a white for a 1/1. When they enter the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you create a food token, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosie. That's kind of annoying, it's other than Rosie, but I get it. The Shire Sheriff. 1 colorless, 1 white. 2/2 vigilance. Well, when it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a token. When you do, exile target creature an opponent controls until the sheriff leaves. Mirkwood Bats. 3 colorless and a black for 2/3 flying. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. The Generous Ent. 5 colorless and a green for a 5/7 reach. When enters the battlefield, create a food token. 4 cycling 1. Path to Exile. Swords to Plowshares. Revive the Shire. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand to create a food. A Butterbeer. Butterbur. A Bree Innkeeper. 2 green white. 3/3 at the beginning of your end step. If you don't control a food, create a food. Crypt Incursion. 2 colorless and a black. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You gain 3 life for each card exiled this turn. That's nasty. Destroy target on land. Go for the throat. Destroy target on land. Nightmare's Whisper. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Okay. That's kind of a cool card. Cultivate. Essence Warden. Whenever a creature enters battlefield, you gain 1 life. Farseek. Great Oak Guardian. 5 colors and a green for a 4/5. Flash Reach. A Flash Ent. That's funny. Flash Ent. When it enters battlefield, creatures target player controls gains +2/+2 and untap them. Harmonize. Draw 3 cards for 4. Orchard Strider. See, now this is where all the tree folk are starting to come in. Create 2 foods, 4 colorless, 2 green, 6/4. Prosperous Innkeeper. Shire Terrace. Tireless Provisioner. It's an elf. Whenever a land enters the field, create a food or a treasure token. Mortify. Savvy Hunter. Savvy. Whenever it attacks or blocks, create a food token. That's intriguing. Whenever it attacks or blocks. Arcane Signet. Command Sphere. Pristine Talisman. I think that now we're starting to get towards the end of all these. So far, this has been very interesting opening this, because it seems a little different than the deck list I saw online. Soul Ring. I love the look of the Soul Ring here. Access Tunnel. Ash Baron. Command Tower. Evolving Wilds. Ghost Quarter. Greyfelt Refuge. Path of Ancestry. Rogues. Step Citadel. Scorched Barrens. And then all the basics. And then we get from Tree Folks, we get some Burbs, we get some Soldiers, we get some Treasures, the 1 ring. And if I flip it this way, what do we get? A couple Halflings, some more food, some Goats, some more food. Alright, so there we go. That is the pre-con for our last pre-con for Lord of the Rings. I'm very excited to play this deck eventually. It's like I said, this was the least excited / wanting of all of the ones that I bought. But I'm interested to see how it plays. I do have a couple ideas for how I can change it a little bit and add to it. Obviously, when I say that, it's going to be a little bit different than what most people would be doing, because I'm not going to be using cards from outside of Lord of the Rings. I only play Lord of the Rings cards inside the Lord of the Rings decks right now. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this deck? Have you guys bought this deck? Do you like this deck? If you don't like this deck, let me know. I have a couple more Magic things coming down the line within the next couple weeks. Very excited about that sort of stuff, especially with what it is. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below, right? And as always, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. I can't believe that we got a Legolas in this. Like, out of all the cards we could have gotten, we got Legolas. Come on, man. Come on.